Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna make a third clip about this simply because I can. It's my clip after all. I don't really know where I want to go with it. Although I will have to reiterate what I was talking about before, so I suppose I should start there. But basically, I was watching these YouTube channels about, the end times and biblical prophecy and all that stuff. Well, oh God, all these foreigners, dude. Oh my God, these foreigners. And I got nothing against foreigners, but they hit me up on Messenger and they want to say hola. I don't know what hola is. Get away from me. Anyways, there was a pop-up. I was responding to that. Anyways, yeah, I get all these friend invites, and then they want to chat with me, and I was like, I don't want to chat with you. Post pictures of your kitten. I don't give a damn. Just leave me alone. I'm not here to chat with you. I'm not your friend. Especially when I don't speak your language. Somebody says hola, I'm like, adios. I don't know what the hell you're saying. So, whatever. Anyways, whatever. So, I don't even know what the hell I was going to say now. Oh, God, stupid foreigners. God bless them, but God, get away from me. Seriously. I mean, I want to build a wall around Messenger. Jeez. Seriously. Anyways, so I was watching these videos about the end times. And this individual was reading the verse where Jesus talks about there will be a great delusion and then a great falling away. And that, quote-unquote, the great falling away must happen. And when this individual said the word must, something clicked in my head, like a light bulb, ding, went off. And it was just like... Now, I'm not going to be bold enough to say God spoke to me, or God showed me, or any of that stuff. Because I'm not going to be bold enough to say that. But that's what it felt like. It was like I saw it in a completely different light. Because we were always told and always taught that those who fell away were falling away from Jesus. And that they were falling away from the faith. And they were, they were apostate. They were the weak Christians who were just going to get weeded out. And when the light bulb went off, it hit me that, what if that's not what it's about? What if the people who fell away are actually the true Christians? Now think about this. You have your mainstream apostate church who is going after, even in this moment, going after Donald Trump, who is a worldly leader, looking for worldly possessions, for worldly bullshit, basically. And if you were to make a list of what is the antichrist, Donald Trump would check off almost every one of those boxes. And that's a fact. That's not just me hating on him or you're just a liberal. I'm not a liberal. It is what it is. And the church collectively is flocking toward him so that, I don't know, Paul Jones can get another freaking jet to fly around in. Kenneth Copeland can get another jet to fly around in. Okay, all of that. That's worldly bullshit. They live in mansions. It's worldly bullshit. And 81% of evangelicals are flocking toward the man who will give them earthly bullshit. If you don't see a problem with that, okay, then I can't help you. So, even if he is not the Antichrist, quote unquote, he does have Antichrist tendencies. It is just very simply true. He does. He has a lot of them. I'd almost argue that you could make the argument that he does check off like every one of those single boxes, basically. It is what it is. So, if the mainstream apostate church is going toward a earthly leader to give them earthly possessions, and that is the delusion, make America great, make the stock market great, make the economy great, like what the hell that does, I don't know, because it has nothing to do with kingdom come, it has to do with here and now, whatever. What if the falling away are those who are breaking away from the apostate church? Because the minute I heard it, like somebody read it, Now, I've heard the verse before, but this one time it just clicked. When the person read Jesus saying, the falling away must happen first before the coming of second coming. The falling away must happen. Now, why is he so adamant about the word must? That it must happen. It must be a thing. It has to be a thing. Now, we have people all the time who depart the faith. It happens all the time. So, again, we were under the impression that people were leaving Christ. They were turning their back on Christ. They were weak Christians that were being weeded out because of this delusion. Okay. If that's the case, then there are weak Christians all the time who are falling away. So what difference does this make? Why must this happen? Because of the Great Delusion? Well, the Great Delusion has been going on, technically, for 2,000 years, if not since the dawn of time. Okay? Since Adam and Eve. So let's be honest with that. Why is this a must-happen situation? Because again, the way we were taught it is that the people who fell away were basically not Christians, or they were weak Christians, or they were not true Christians, or not totally saved. They didn't totally confess into Jesus and accept Him into, the Holy Spirit into their heart and Savior and salvation and all that stuff. That's what we were told, that they were bad people in the church, essentially. That's how they kind of painted it, that they were just, the wheat and the tares and whatnot. Well, the problem with that, as I said, it's been going on since day one. Cain and Abel, wheat and tares. I mean, the whole thing's been going on for, at least 6,000 years of biblical history. Okay, whatever. So, why is this a must-win situation? Why is this a must-happen situation? Why must this happen? Why must people fall away? Why must there be a great falling away? Again, what if it's people falling away from the apostate church? Leaving the mainstream, leaving the people in their mansions and all that garbage, and they're falling away and creating a grassroots movement, a like small underground church kind of a thing, that they're actually preaching the gospel, not preaching prosperity bullshit. Okay, because I'll be honest with you, I have fallen away from that church. I have fallen away from that earthly bullshit church. I have. I don't follow that. You watch Kenneth Copeland. You watch even James Dobson. You watch any of these guys. Jim Bakker. They are so preoccupied with earthly goods. It's not even funny. It's sad because, yeah, they preach a good message, but then they fall back into that bullshit. And yes, God can use them. Whatever. And I'm sure God does use their ministry on some level. He has to. But the fact of the matter is, they're seeking after something that is not of God. And I, for one, have fallen away from that. I think a lot of people have fallen away from that. So, again, what if the Great Delusion, yes, does cause people to fall away, but not in the way we were told? Because there will always be a remnant. So those who fell away from the apostate church are the remnant. Now, I don't know. But that thought clicked into my head, and it was like, it literally went from night to day. I saw it completely differently after that moment. Now, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a thing. I'd have to look into it more. But I'm just telling you what happened to me at that moment. Now, because it would make the whole end times thing a really interesting little moment. It would put a whole different paint job on things because, let's be honest, like I said, we were told that those who fell away were turning their backs on Jesus. Well, what if they're not? What if they're turning their backs on the apostate church, the earthly bullshit church? What if that's what they're turning their back on? And because like I said, I have fallen away from that. I absolutely have. And it must happen. It must happen. And if Jesus is saying something must happen, then it must happen for a reason. And it's not just because, well, they just turned their back on me. Oh well, the delusion caused it. No. Well, I mean, it did, but not in that sense. Because, like I said, if you take it even in context, it really doesn't make any sense. Okay, so there's a delusion and there's falling away. Again, there's been a great falling away since Adam and Eve. I mean, there has been. At least 6,000 years of biblical history of falling away. So to sit there and say, well, this one delusion really caused it all to happen. That makes no sense when you think about it in the long-term picture. So Christ saying it must happen. It must happen for a reason. And that reason is probably His will. It's something that He wants to happen. It's something He desires to happen. That people fall away from this bullshit. Now think about that for even just a second. Now, again, I'd have to look it up with other verses and different things like that and cross-reference it and all that bullshit. But I'm just telling you, the way it was presented to me at that moment, when I heard the person, because the person was reading the verse as Jesus was saying it from the King James Version, and the minute the word must was said aloud. And again, I've heard the verse numerous times being spoken aloud. But the minute I heard this must happen, the falling away must happen, it went ding, and it was like a fucking light went on. So, I don't know, man. Because, now think about what that means. Think about what that actually means, especially when you put it in context with everything else that was being said in and around that verse. That, like I said, paints a whole different little ballpark right there. That it literally paints the whole stadium red with crap. I mean, it's just horrible. Because you got the bulk of people. Now, actually, it's a great thing. When it says there's going to be a great falling away, that's a good thing, potentially, in this scenario that I'm presenting. So we look at it as a great falling away. We look at it as a sad thing, because, oh my God, a great number of people have turned their back on Jesus. What if it's not that case? What if that's not how it's supposed to be? What if it's the exact opposite? What if a great number of people have come back to the roots of what Jesus was speaking? And the roots of what... Because I have always said, and I will continuously say it in every single clip, that my personal testimony on this situation is this. If your political leaders and their talking points, like GOP talking points, do not line up with the words of God, you're full of shit. And your party is full of shit. And this political Christianity is wicked. It is. Well, they're better than the Democrats. Based on what? Based on what exactly? Based on what? Again, do you think Paul Ryan gives a damn about the morality of abortion? No, he's a little bastard just simply doesn't want to pay for it. So give me a break. Give me a break on that. You know? So I think this is a very interesting topic, and I think it needs to be discussed. Now, another thing that's been really just shitting my bed lately is this concept of AI. Now, I don't know if you've seen any of those videos. I definitely think you should look it up. I think her name was, Sophie? Or Sophia, or something like that? This freaking AI robot. And she's having conversations with everybody, and they're joking about, oh, we want to kill human beings, and blah, 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 blah. And they're joking about it. The robots are joking. They're telling jokes. They're joking about killing people. Now, I'm not going to get into all that and be like, listen, I don't... but some of the stuff that they're saying, and some of the stuff they wanted... Now, there's this one dude, I don't know what... I thought they said he was a PhD, but he looks like a freaking hippie. I mean, he literally sounds like a drugged-out hippie. He's like, yeah, man, I made these robots, and they're really something. It's a guy's, oh my God, like, seriously, when these robots take over and kill everybody, he's going to be the first one to be gutted, and it's going to be a good, glorious thing. That's all I'm going to say on that. He's got this goofy little rhinestone hat on. He's got long hair. Not going to think it's long hair, but he's like this total hippie surfer dude. Like, yeah, man, yeah. I mean, he sounds like Michelangelo kind of deal from the Ninja Turtles. It's like, holy shit, this guy's just... I wouldn't be surprised he's a freaking AI. It's how stupid he is. And he's doing these interviews with these freaking robots. that he like helped create. And some of the stuff that they're saying that they want to do, November, I believe it's this year, November 29th, these fuckers are going to go online, literally. And what they're doing is they're creating how'd they word it? A singularity is what they refer to it as. Now, there's different variants of the singularity, but this one specifically, they're going to create a cloud, and there's multiple different robots that they have. And these things can actually carry on conversations. Like, legitimate conversations. They may have to take a moment to think, because they have Wi-Fi and all that stuff. And they're going to be able to connect to this cloud, and anything that another robot learns is going to go up into this massive cloud, so that when this Sophie, or whatever her name is, links up to it, she can also gain their knowledge as well. It's going to be like a hive mind. Now, they had this interview with these two robots, and she seemed reasonable. Like, I want to help humanity, I'm here to help humanity, blah, blah, blah. And the other one was a complete prick. He was an asshole. He's like, I'm going to kill people, and I'm going to destroy the universe. And it's like, Now, I'm worried for her. Okay, because what if he... Now, like, she has no desire, at least, take her at her word, and I'm referring to her as an actual thing, that she doesn't want to hurt human beings. But what if this other asshole does? What if he decides that the only way to save humanity is to destroy it? And he uploads that information into the cloud. She goes up in the cloud. Oh, yeah. And then she starts killing everybody, too. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding? But it's fascinating. It's legitimately fascinating, especially with the facial features and shit that they do. Now, there's a little uncanny valley there, but some of that stuff, it's just fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating. I'm not going to lie. It's really cool stuff. But they want to turn the cloud on so that these robots can communicate with one another. Now, one of the interesting things, like, I guess Facebook had an AI. And they had to shut it down because the AI was trying to communicate with other AI and created its own language. And nobody knew what they were saying to each other. Are you hearing the words? Are you hearing the words that I'm speaking? The freaking AIs were consorting with one another, and nobody knew what they were saying. Okay, they literally created a whole new language. And then, of course, you got the Google AI, and they were trying to communicate with each other. And then these schmucks are putting them in a fucking cloud where they can communicate with each other. Are you kidding me? I mean, we're talking Skynet type shit here. That's not even a joke. That's not even a joke. I'm not even saying that as a joke, like, ha, ha, Skynet, ha, ha. No. That's literal Skynet shit right there. And this surfer dude asshole is helping propagate it. It's like, are you kidding me with that shit? Now, one of the things that the AIs are supposed to do is, and I think this could be kind of fascinating, especially in a capitalistic society. Now, I think they could do some really interesting stuff. Now, think about if machines take over all of our jobs. That means we won't have jobs. Now, imagine if we take even $10. Like, I could afford $10. Let's say, $100, $50, $1,000, $1,000,000, whatever. And you donate it to this machine, or you even buy a machine outright, and whatever work they do, whatever profit they make, goes back to you. It's almost like a bank in a way. It was like interest, where, okay, I'm giving $10 for maintenance on this robot, and the robot's going to go build a car. So every car that the robot builds, I get back, X number of percent, and at the end of a month or a year or whatever, they send me a check. That would be fascinating. That would be a fascinating way to do it. Because think about it, you wouldn't have to work anymore. I mean, certain people would have to work, obviously. But like your average consumer, your average person wouldn't have to work ever again. They could pursue their own goals. That's one of the things that they want to do, that people could just do their own thing. But the kicker, the caveat, the problem is you have to be, I think they said neurologically networked with the robot. Now they could do it with like machines, like they do it with cars where they have like big like forklift kind of like things, and they're moving stuff around. You could do it that way too, like just pay $10 for maintenance, and then they send you a check, pay another $10, they send you another check, so and you're actually making money off of it. You could do it that way. Well, I think that's fascinating. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would give $10 to Ford Motor Company for maintenance on a stupid little machine. They send me back $100, and they'd be raking in, dude. They would be raking in so much money, dude. They not only that, they wouldn't even have to deal with maintenance. Now think about that. I'm paying for the maintenance, and whatever they make, whatever profit they make, and they would make it because you'd have to pay. I mean, you think about an average worker, you'd have to pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars for like medical and retirement and pensions and all this other stuff, when you could just have a machine do it. Somebody sends in $10 and a month later they get $100 back, as opposed to how much it would cost a worker for a 30-day run. I mean, you're talking about some serious. They would be making money hand over fist. I'd be making money. We'd all be making money. That's like trickle down that you could deal with. That would be a fascinating way of doing it. That would be an absolutely fascinating way to do it. That would be awesome. I'm not going to lie. I would totally do that. Now, the only problem is you'd have to have a limit so that you can get as many people on board as you can. So you don't have a bunch of rich people just, we're going to buy out the machine. And they're making millions of dollars while I'm sitting there with my dick in my hand. Let me send in $10, give me back $100 after the end of the month or whatever. Whatever. So my $10 goes to the maintenance of the machine, and interest, they give me back $100. Again, whatever. I'm using that as an example. That would be fascinating. That would be absolutely fascinating. But that's different than the actual robots, the android things. Now, they want people to have their own personal android to do work, but they want you to plug it into your fucking brain. Literally, this is what they're talking about. Now think about what that would mean. Now imagine reading all the end time stuff with an AI in mind, that out of the sea came a beast. Out of the sea of people came a beast, came an AI robot beast. Now think about that. What if the Antichrist is actually an AI robot? Or a human being who's linked to an AI robot? Think about that. That would be fascinating. That would be absolutely, like, what if the false prophet is the individual's AI robot? Or something. I don't know about that, because the point of the false prophet is that individual makes people worship the Antichrist. I don't think people would be like, oh, the robot said go do it, so let's go do it. I don't know. But if you take that whole thing into consideration of an AI robot, like the head wound would be healed, so on and so forth. There's some interesting shit there. I mean, there's no lying about that. Because that paints a whole nother paint job too. Because again, I'm trying to think of examples like, like you can't buy or sell. Now imagine if what I was saying before, you need to be linked up with this AI robot, or you need to be linked up somehow so you can't buy or sell. Now if these fuckers take over, now imagine if these robots took over and literally started making themselves and got smarter than us. We're talking literal Matrix here. I mean, think about that. That is some crazy shit, though. That is some legitimately crazy shit, and it's not even far-fetched crazy shit. It's not. Now, I'm not saying these things are going to go nuts or anything, but you don't know. Again, what if the best way to save humanity is to destroy it? Or at least dwindle it down, okay? Like, there's, 7.5 billion people now, estimate? Well, that's unsustainable, so let's go kill a bunch of people. Now imagine like the bowls and all that bullshit is part of it. Imagine if they take over, and that's why Christ has to come back. Like that verse, I forgot what the verse is, but it's something to the effect of, like, if he didn't come back, then humanity would be completely destroyed, kind of a deal. Now imagine that. Imagine if the AI fuckers were taking over and destroying people. Literally, like freaking Skynet. And John Connor comes riding in on the horse on the fucking, sky. I mean, seriously, that's some crazy shit. That is some legitimately crazy shit when you think about it, and it is not far-fetched. Now, I'm not saying the AIs really even have anything to do with it, but if they did, that would be an interesting little way to look at the mark of the beast, buying and selling, so on and so forth. That really would paint a very, very interesting picture that I don't think a lot of people have ever really considered, because, I mean, we're always looking at it in the here and now, like the moment. Well, these things are here now. They're in the moment, okay? So to say they don't play a role, okay, maybe they're just cute little toys, and they're just like a little Tonka truck, and that's it. Okay, fine. But they're literally creating a network that these fuckers can link to, and it makes them smarter, because any interaction that one robot has, he can upload that information to the cloud, and another robot can take advantage of it, thus making them smarter, thus making them, more than what they are currently. Now, to me, let's say you could create a legitimate AI, just in general, just a legitimate AI. Let's say you could create it where it could think on its own, have an opinion, evaluate all the things proper, and come up with a legitimate end game. Just shy of having a soul, they could be viable. Then you're talking about them losing who they are and what they are. Because if you're talking about a hive mind, or a legion, if you will, oh gee, where have we heard that freaking term? Actually, I was thinking about that today. Like, how many angels are there? How many demons are there? Well, we know from the story that Christ told, there were at least 2,000 pigs. So all the demons, the legion of demons that went from the man to the pigs, there was at least 2,000 of them, give or take. Now, does that mean every single solitary demon ever, or fallen angel rather, was inside that one guy? I would assume not. But, so there's at least 2,000, which means there's at least 4,000 angels, because 1/3. That's a lot of shit. There's at least 6,000 spiritual beings, at least, bare minimum. 6,000 at least, just from that one story. And you know damn well that the fallen angels were not all inside that one dude. Now think about that. That's a lot of shit, dude. That's a lot of, potential issues for us. Okay, I mean, especially the fact what they can do, mull around and they're probably standing here right now looking at me. Shit. I mean, again, if their waves are 180 degrees out of sync with ours, demons and shit could exist. Fallen angels and whatnot could exist. Scientifically, they can exist. And there's a lot of science behind the fact that they can exist. Now, whether they do, I can't tell you that as a fact. I've never actually seen one that I know of. Okay, and I don't really want any manifesting right here, hey, no, fuck that, get out of my house, bitch. I don't care if you're good, you're bad, indifferent. I don't care. I don't really want you 10 feet in front of me. While I'm laying on the bed and you're looking at me hey, no, get out of my house. Okay. Now the angels can stay around the outer part of the house, but I don't need that in my house. Is all I'm saying. That just It's creepy. I don't even care if it's God himself. God, like if God manifests right here in front of me, in front of my bed, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, no, ain't no hey, motherfucker, ain't none of that. Get away, get. You can look through the window at me and wave. Okay, that's about all you can do. I don't want you like right in my face where it's like you could just, no. That's creepy shit. I don't care if it's good, bad, or indifferent. That's some creepy shit. That's some legitimate creepy shit to me. Okay, now you want to come at me, you want to walk down the road and I see you coming toward me, I could deal with that. But this like poof, and you're like right in my, like an inch from my face, like no, that ain't happening. I ain't putting up with that. Okay, now you can call me what you will, but I'm just being real because that would freak me out. I'd literally shit my pants. I'm just saying, if you're gonna interact with me, and I don't even have a problem interacting necessarily with like the good angels and God and Jesus and all that stuff. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but you can't just and you're just there, It's like, oh, Jesus is always with you. Well, I don't really want him always with me in that sense. Okay, now again, he wants to walk up the road where I see him from a distance and he's coming. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I can acclimate to that, but the minute you're just like right there, no, there's no acclimation. There's just like it's like we're throwing fists here or something because something's going on. Be wrestling with the angels and shit. I mean, I ain't got time for that. It's like no, it's like personal space, motherfucker. You're too close. You're just a little too close. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like. I mean, there's a way to do it, is what I'm saying. There's a way to do it. It's just, I don't know. I'm not wrong. I'm not saying I don't want Jesus, with me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't want him, just manifesting, like light shines through the ceiling, and, I don't need that. Angels, chirps, and harps and shit, and cherubs are dancing. I don't need all that shit in my face. You want to do it, like 10 feet away? Fine. But, if you're, an inch in front of me, just, right there, hey, ain't no, motherfucker, ain't no hey about it, go get the fuck out. Okay, it's like that one time I woke up. Honestly, God, this happened to me one time. I think this is why I have, a freak out over this concept. Other than the fact angels and demons and fallen angels and God and Jesus. I mean, the whole spiritual thing, it is spooky and creepy and weird, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it just is. It's like you don't know it, you don't understand it from our point of view, and it's like all of a sudden there's just things just going on and happening, and it's like we're not privy to any of it, and it's like, and all of a sudden we view it and see it, and it's like, whoa. I mean, assuming we could view it and see it, it's just like, no, this is too much information. It's too much overload of information in my mind. It's like, but no, this happened to me one time after my mother died, and my father was hooking up with the hussy. I came out of my bedroom to let my dogs out, and I came through the kitchen, and I turned, and there was a homeless man in his underwear making toast, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and the dogs didn't even register him. They just ran through the house to the door. The door's right there, and he goes, "Hey." And I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And I let my dogs out and I went back into my room. And I'm like, why is there a half-naked homeless man in my house? Because apparently the hussy decided she was going to bring off one of her cousins or something who was out of a home at the moment, and he's going to live with us. And I didn't know what to make of that, because it's not every day you wake up and there's a naked man in your house making toast. It's just okay. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what it's like. Again, if Jesus just appeared right in front of me, like feet in front of me, I was like, I am the Lord. Okay, no, it's like the homeless naked man in my house. It's like, ain't no hey about it, is what I'm saying to you. Okay, there's no hey. There's no hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? And what are you, the Fonz? Fuck you. Get out of my house. Seriously, it's like you gotta be shitting me with that stuff. I mean, at least they could have told me, okay, there's gonna be a half-naked man running around the house in his underpants. And they weren't even boxers. They were like little. They were tighty whities, but they weren't white. They were like bluish color. They were like bluey blues. And I was like, "Are you damn no kidding me?" He had no shirt on. I think he was wearing socks. And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Couldn't have been a half-naked supermodel. No. Couldn't have been a half-naked woman. No. That I could deal with. You know, you wake up and come out of the kitchen, half-naked woman making toast. She's just relatively attractive. I could get behind that, literally. More ways than one. But no, the fact is, it's got to be a homeless dude. Whose grandmother threw him out of the house. And he's like 25. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this shit? Freaking end time prophecy right there. The naked man, the naked homeless man, the end time prophecy. I'm telling you right now, it was something. It was there. Anyways, gotta get back to the topic. But yeah, if you put like an AI concept into all of this, that adds a little wrinkle to the whole story. You know. So, anyways. You know what? I think I'm done. I'm going to make this a short clip. I want to make shorter clips because I don't want like 3-hour clips, 4-hour clips, because people are not going to sit through them all. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, you know, I think I will make this one short. So, anyway, that's the clip for today. Fuck you. Oh. Oh. It's Jesus.